All right, we are live. Guys, what is going on? Mike Cesaroni here, back with another video. I hope you all had a great week, and we're very cautious out there in these mean streets of crypto. It has been a rough and rocky ride, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this out of here. Hold on here. I don't want none of this free stuff. So, the title of this video is, Justice Department launches an investigation into Bitcoin price manipulation. Now, this was all over the news yesterday. I had watched on CNBC. It was also on CNN. A couple of other major networks were covering this story, and I wanted to dive into it a little bit and give you my opinion on what exactly they're talking about. So, just to kind of breeze through it, it starts off by saying the Justice Department has opened a criminal probe into whether traders are manipulating the price of Bitcoin and other digital currencies, dramatically ratcheting up U.S. scrutiny of red-hot markets the critics say are rife with misconduct, according to 4 people familiar with the matter. The investigation is focused on illegal practices that can influence prices, such as spoofing or flooding the market with fake orders to trick other traders into buying or selling. So right there, I want to kind of talk about that, okay? Now, when you see these orders that are placed in the order books, whether it's GDAX, Binance, or some of the other major exchanges, sometimes you see these orders for like 30 or 40 Bitcoin. And when those orders are placed into the order book, that sometimes drives the price in that direction. So that is a form of manipulation. Now, if somebody is in a short position and they want to drive the price down, they're going to put an order for as many Bitcoin as they want, and I'm talking about the whales with the big money. They're going to put in an order for 100 Bitcoin at a certain price that is below their short position, so they can profit on that. And then once it gets to their short, they end up taking the order off the books. So that is absolutely a form of manipulation. Now, I can just continue seeing this happen until some regulation is put in place and they do step in and try to figure out, and the Justice Department puts together a plan on how to stop this from happening. But until then, it's just going to continue happening. Authorities worry about virtual currencies are susceptible for fraud. Multiple reasons skepticism that all exchanges are actively pursuing cheaters, wild price swings that could make it easy to push valuations around, lack of regulations like the ones that govern stocks and other assets. Bitcoin extended its Thursday declines after Bloomberg News reported the investigation and was down 3% to 7,409 as of 9:32 a.m. London time. It's down now more than 20% since May 4th peak. Now they're talking about traders colluding here. Now, the illicit tactics that the Justice Department is looking into, including spoofing and wash trading, forms of cheating that regulators have spent years trying to root out the futures of equities markets, the people said. In spoofing, a trader submits a spate of orders and then cancels them once the price moves in the desired direction. So that's exactly what I had just said, is when they try to manipulate the market and try to move the price in the direction they want it to go in, they will actually put in an order for a ridiculous amount at a ridiculous price, and that order alone will drive the price down. And if they want to put an order in going long, it will drive that price up. So a lot of people are doing that. And, it can be known as short squeezing. I mean, we had an instance about last month when we were down at the 6,400 area and we were just performing bear flag after bear flag it was obvious that another drop was coming. Now, what ended up happening was a short squeeze ended up occurring. If we come take a look back at the chart, let's just take a look going back there, because I want to explain and I want to show exactly what I'm talking about. When we, let's see here. Let's take a look at the 2-hour. And it was right here, okay? So we saw a bear flag, drop, bear flag, drop. We saw this influx of volume. And then we saw another drop, bear flag, drop. And then we saw this here, right? And this is where I ended up getting stopped out, liquidated on a position, and ended up losing quite a bit of gains during this drop because of this squeeze here. Now what happens is when the price drops like this and everybody in an institutional trader, such as myself and anybody else who is experienced in the market, knows that this is a very strong signal to short. Now we saw a very quick drop in that direction, but there was orders put in place that manipulated the price to shoot up and what is known as a short squeeze and just eat up all those shorts. Now, that's not always the case, and that's not always what they are talking about in that article. What they are basically talking about is, is these big corporations and big whale institutions that put in these orders and then take them right off the books as soon as they cash in on their leverage or their trade, whatever situation that they're in. The investigation, which the people said is in its early stage, is in the U.S.'s latest effort to crack down on an industry that initially embraced by those who were distrustful of banks and government control over monetary policy. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't have my coffee yet. Let's take a sip here. Now, the fraud target, the limited oversight of crypto trading makes it target for crooks. And, I don't like seeing that. This article is obviously FUD. They're trying to slander Bitcoin, and they're trying to link Bitcoin with criminals and, that kind of quick money scheme type of situation. And again, that's just not always the case. There obviously is big companies out there who can manipulate the market and they use it to their advantage, but that's not, in my case, what this market is all about. And I feel like this article that they put out is basically saying that the price of Bitcoin is just always going to be manipulated. And listen, and then there's some senses where I can agree with that because we all see the manipulation, and the manipulation does happen a lot. The Winklevoss twins, who are known for getting rich off Facebook Inc., hired NASDAQ Inc. last month to conduct surveillance of digital coins trading on their exchange, Gemini Trust Company. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, who also urged trading platforms to band together to form a group that would serve as a self-regulator for the industry. That's what we need, guys. We need more regulation within this industry so this stuff doesn't happen and these articles don't come out. Because this is just going to the average investor and to the average person who is looking to get into crypto. Brendan, is my live stream full? I feel like there's a problem with the video. Just let me know. So that's about it, guys. I just wanted to go over that real quick. I did put the link down below. You can go check out the article for yourself, or just go into Google and put in Bitcoin manipulation. It's all over the place. Like I said, CNBC, a lot of big network news medias covered it, which is it just bothers me because you always hear about the bad when they talk about crypto. But you never hear about when, we do a run up to 10,000. We always hear when Bitcoin's going down to 6 or Bitcoin's dropping. Bitcoin dropped 10% today. We never ever hear Bitcoin had a great day, except, obviously when it was all in the news when we went up to 20,000. That was something that they just could not avoid putting in the news. So with that being said, guys, take a look at that and, form your own opinion on it. But to me, it's just something that I think is going to continue happening until we get some more regulation that is input into the market. Let's take a look at the market and how we're sitting right now with Bitcoin. We'll look at the 4-hour chart. Now, this line that I had drawn is very sloppy, just kind of, situation on where I think the price could be heading for Bitcoin was drawn. If you guys follow my live streams, we ended up making this line right down as this candle closed, and it's pretty much following. No problem, Brandon. It's pretty much following that pattern of what I expected it to do. Now, until we see volume come into the market that has enough to see that reversal, I just continue seeing it going sideways. Now, I don't really see it going. What's the date here? So the 30th. I mean, 5 days. I mean, we could see some sideways movement for the next 5 days, but you know, we could easily run up to 78 to 8,000 Bitcoin over the weekend. You know, a lot of the times we do see a lot of money infused over the weekend, and I think that's just due to the stock market being closed, and you know, those traders who do trade stocks and that are in traditional markets may come over to crypto and get their trade fix on. You know, that's just my thoughts about that. But we could definitely continue to see this sideways movement, and before another leg down. But as far as I see, and from what I'm looking at, there's just not enough volume that's coming in to see a reversal, and I think we're just going to continue moving sideways until we see another leg down. Now, another interesting point that I had wanted to look at was that it just keeps bouncing right off of the support that we had, guys, right at 73.63. You know, we had 1, 2, 3, we had 4 touches off that bounce. Now, again, there's only so many times that it can bounce off of a support before it breaks. Same thing with the resistance. There's only so many times it can try to knock through that door before it either runs out of gas and just falls, or it either just picks up enough steam and it breaks. Now, in this case here, I believe what we're waiting for is just, you know, the bulls to kind of just give up, and I believe we are going to see another leg down, probably to the 71.41. That's my next stop area. But again, we could end up blowing right through that support as we did up here at the 79.90, 78,000. And, you know, to me, you know, this is a very important support here. If we end up breaking the support, you know, I believe that the $6,400 Bitcoin would be back on the table, and that just, you know, I don't like to look at it as a bad thing. Okay, for us day traders, right, and for us traders who like to capitalize on situations like this, I highly suggest that you new traders kind of try to get that experience. You kind of try to use this as an opportunity, right? All these drops are doing is they're creating more opportunity for us to get in at lower prices for any altcoin, because as you know, as Bitcoin falls, all the other altcoins fall with it. And you know, it is a good opportunity to position yourself into some of these coins that you have long-term belief in, or something that you just want to day trade or swing trade and catch them at these lower prices. I mean, yesterday EOS had a I don't know, 19% gain and went from, I think, $10 to $14, or if somebody can correct me, I'm not sure if that's exactly what the number was, but I mean, I had a huge run yesterday, and that was due to the consolidation of Bitcoin. We're seeing this consolidation here, and as I always say in my streams, when we see consolidation, we tend to see a lot of green in the altcoin market, because that's you know, people are more comfortable taking their BTC out, putting it into an altcoin for a day trade, because they know that the price of Bitcoin is somewhat stable at the moment and it's not going in a downwards momentum. So when we see all that red in the market on these altcoins, it's usually due to the fact of people hedging their money either into Bitcoin or Tether, and you know, prices will drop in that case. So that's what I wanted to just kind of cover with Bitcoin. You know, I do see another leg down. Unfortunately, we do have some support at the 71.55 area. But if we do break this 71 to 7,000, I do believe that we will continue to go down and retest those lows of 6,400 to 6,500. Let's take a look at TRX, one of the hot coins of this week. Why is my chart an absolute mess right now? I'm sorry about that. So right now we're kind of in a consolidation mode with TRX. Let's look at the 4. Yeah, this is the 4 hour. And, you know, we can kind of see maybe, let's see if we can see a pattern forming. We have 2 touches down there. I mean, we could see some movement within this wedge here in the next couple of days. I mean, we only have 5 days until the mainnet launch. So, you know, is the mainnet launch hype over? You know, that's what we really have to kind of think about right now, is if you want to really jump on this train and try to see if we can get some more gains out of TRX before the mainnet launch. Huge shout out, by the way, to Vin Ferretti and Bit More Crypto. Go check out his channel. He did an amazing video last night on TRX, and you know, if this mainnet launch hype is you know, basically fading away at this point because of the price of BTC and the fear and doubt on where the price is going overall. So go check out his channel. I will link his channel in the description below. Let's take a look at another couple coins. So Yo-Yo yesterday was a coin that I was taking a look at, and it was a coin that I was trading. And I had also put it on my Twitter, I put it on my Instagram, that we were forming an incredible bull flag pattern, right? And this is something that I did trade yesterday, one of my very few trades. You know, we saw this flag, and what I noticed, and this is something that we can call a little bit of manipulation, right? You see these drops, these long wicks here, right? These are all stop loss hunters. These are big buyers coming in because they notice that they see this flag pattern forming. They notice the chances of a breakout are pretty strong. So what they do is they put in their buy orders and their limit buy orders in at a situation where maybe stop losses would be. Now, as you can see, if you look really close, all of these wicks wick down to a certain area, right? Right here at the 1299 Satoshi area. Now, in my case, in an average person, in an average trader's case, if they were playing this pennant breakout, they would set their stop loss a little bit below the EMAs, right? Just in case this did leak out the bottom and we did not see this jump. So what this is big money institutions or just big money traders setting their limit orders for 1300, and those orders are so big that, you know, it forces the market down, it grabs those stop losses, and then the price just jumps right back up into that pattern. And we were seeing that all day yesterday with the Yo-Yo. All day we kept seeing a wick down, boom, and it would eat up those stop losses, boom, eat up those stop losses, and they were just grabbing more and more and more for these cheaper prices. And each time that they were hunting for these stop losses, this little gain, you know, if you're working with a lot of capital, if you're working with, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even $10,000 to $20,000, $30,000 at a time, you know, this little gain here, let's check what the percentage would be. That little gain of 1.5% is pretty significant when you're working with big money. So from these stop losses here, you know, that's a 2.7% increase in price that they were able to make from stop loss hunting. And I want to make a video in the future on how stop loss hunting works, because I get that question a lot. Like, why do people stop loss hunt? What is that all about, and what does that mean? So I plan on doing a video about that in the future, but for now, let's continue looking at the market and where we're at. So we see a lot of red today. XLM has been doing, you know, pretty well within this consolidation phase of BTC. We are seeing some steady upward momentum, which I like seeing with XLM. On the 2-hour chart, let's see, on the 4-hour chart, I mean, RSI levels are at 59. I wish Vin all the time. Did it again last night. Great streams. He gave away t-shirts last night. Wants to... Oh, I know, man. He is, dude. Vin is, dude, he's the man. Vin is awesome. And if you're watching, Vin, I have a feeling you are. You got to text me, and I got to get you that address for those T-shirts, man. I need one of those. I need some of them T-shirts. Great channel, guys. Go check out Vin Ferretti. I mean, he just puts out incredible content. So, yeah, Stellar's looking good right now. We saw this double bottom here on the 4-hour chart that created quite the influx in volume that ended up coming in, and we just continue to see more volume. But right now we're battling with this 200 EMA, and until we can get a close over this 200 EMA, I would just keep an eye on it. I mean, we had a very bullish bull flag actually occur here. And normally I would say if this 200 EMA was not acting as a resistance, this could have saw a lot more significant gains, but that was not the case. It ended up kind of fizzing out, and it got rejected by this 200 EMA. So that's something that you should keep an eye on. Let's take a look at, there was CMT. So CMT has been just outperforming the market. It's been doing excellent as of late. I have been using and I have been playing CMT, I don't know, since this run-up started to occur. I believe right around here. I started positioning myself into CMT as we saw these bounces off the 15 EMA. Now, when you see consolidation like that, to me, in a healthy market, and especially a coin similar to CyberMiles, it's a very good opportunity to put some buy orders in and, and try to take advantage of these drops. So when you see healthy gains like that, that's not a pump. That's not a pump and dump. That's not something that is going to immediately drop due to certain news coming out. Similar to Storm the other day. Storm was listed on Bitfinex or Bittrex, one of them, and we saw that huge pump in volume, but it just came right back down. Now, this isn't the case with CyberMiles. This is nice, healthy growth. So when I do see these pullbacks occur, I do strengthen positions, or when I do see a pullback starting to occur, I will sell positions or sell a quarter of my position and then reposition once we do get a touch off these EMAs. Now, as you can see, this here, we dropped a little bit further below the 15. We almost touched the 55. But again, great opportunity to position yourself. And if you see further lows come in, you can always ladder yourself out. You always want to try to minimize your risk. But as far as CMT as a project, I believe this will continue to grow. It'll be one of the big growers of this year. But we, something to be a little cautious about right now. If you're looking to get in, we are extremely overextending on the RSI. We're sitting at about a 75 RSI. Not something that I would get in at the moment. I would look for a retracement back down to an EMA if you are looking to get into a position, and then go from there. So definitely not a buy in my opinion at this time. I'm very fortunate and lucky to be in, but I will strengthen a position, or maybe even this might even be a good time to sell, take some profits, and then reposition once we do visit down to one of these EMAs. Let's take a look at CyberMiles and what they're all about. And I'm sorry, guys. I am in the process of getting a computer built right now. And until that is done, we are going to be experiencing a little bit of lagginess, because when I do go live, it tends to slow my computer down a little bit. So I apologize about that. So CyberMiles is a smart contract for e-commerce. What they're basically trying to do, CyberMiles has built a customized smart contract templates for e-commerce companies to deploy their business on the blockchain with ease. CyberMiles was built around the concept of optimal response. So let's take a look at their team. And you guys know that that's one of the first things I look at is their team. Who's reputable on the team? Who's putting this together? Yeah, I mean, this seems like a pretty solid team. And this is what I like to see in a project. I mean, that's exactly what I like to see. So let's take a look at their mission and what they want to try to accomplish here. So at CyberMiles, our mission is to build a decentralized ecosystem for e-commerce. Much of this work is to design and implement an economic system. The network must be able to attract a diverse group of participants to share resources in order to truly achieve network effort. Core to CyberMiles design is blah. So basically, what do they want to try to do? Possibilities can be met, yet to cause small businesses, consumers to lose profits. Innovation slows and consumers to network contributors in the dark about the money. So CyberMiles blockchain aims to the public blockchain for all e-commerce related transactions. So e-commerce sites such as eBay, e-commerce and stuff like that, I believe they want to implement their token as a way of peer-to-peer transactions. Laptops just don't have the horsepower of a desktop. Yeah, I know. We'll get there, buddy. We'll get there. So that's what CyberMiles is all about. Sitting at 33 cents right now. Let's take a look at their all-time high. And we are actually at all-time highs right now with CyberMiles. Very interesting. No, we are not. Sorry about that. Wait, let's see here. $0.33 market cap. Yeah. So I mean, this is just making a run, and it's one of those projects that I believe just has huge potential for continuous growth. I mean, look at this thing is still pumping. It's doing great. I have a small position in it, nothing big, and I wish I would have put a bigger position in, but look at that thing go. I love seeing that. Let's take a look at a couple other coins, and then we will call it a day, guys. And I will be back tonight for another stream. Any coins you guys want me to take a look at? Nulls. So nulls is something that I had some interest in, but let's see if we had ended up closing off the 30-minute. So nulls ended up just pumping as I was making this video, and I was waiting for this to kind of breach over the 200 EMA on the 30-minute, and it ended up doing that. So nulls might be a good look for today. Just keep an eye on it, and could be a good position to play those little pullbacks. CND also has a nice little pattern going on the 4-hour chart. Has this nice little curl up. RSI we saw this extremely oversold on the RSI. Huge buy signal there, and they were able to capitalize and get up to some higher levels at the 854. Now we're kind of getting a squeeze in between the 55 and 15 EMA, and that's about it. So and that's about it. I'm going to end this video here, guys. I appreciate everybody for joining. Brandon, ADA, BNB. All right, let's take a look at that real quick. ADA, BNB, nothing really crazy. I mean, yeah, nothing stands out to me as far as an entry point, but Cardano can always be a big mover, and Storm BNB. Again, a lot of these patterns are just causing the same patterns over and over. A lot of these Binance coins, they are creating the same pattern, and that's going to continue to happen until BTC kind of digs itself out of this sideways momentum. But that's about it. What do we go? We're going about half hour here, guys. We're going to end this live stream here. Thank you all for tuning in. Go check out my Twitter. Go check out my Instagram. And I will see you guys in the next live stream. I will probably be going live tonight around 6 o'clock. So, Yeah, definitely, Brandon. So we're going to end that here, and thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys tonight. Like I said, probably around 6, 7 o'clock, and we're just going to kind of do a market update. So I'll see you guys later.